Okay, this is a quick tour of the van, as is warts and all for anybody that was not able to see it today, that was hoping to get a glimpse. It's a van 2019 Ford Transit high roof extended. It is converted to four-wheel drive by Quigley Motor Company. It has 3 solar panels on a custom DIY roof rack, very low profile. Each panel is 420 watts for a total of 1260 watts. I have a 4th panel currently on my little trailer that will get installed on the front of the van eventually on some type of angled and articulated rack so that I have 4 flat panels when needed. We make our way inside the van. Well, let's look at this exterior feature first. This is a hatch that I installed. I'll make it a little prettier and have it professionally painted to match later, but it's functional now. That's my aftermarket rear view camera connected. Just worked out to put it there. A lot of this stuff is temporary. It's a work in progress. It's a Transit 250 if you're curious. Have a hitch, but just 4 flat wiring, so I could tow U-Haul trailers, for instance, and put accessories on it. Oh, the van's locked. That's my Bluetooth. I'll show you the front while we're here. Again, a lot of this just temporary setups. Got some infrastructure wiring here. Got a security camera, obviously temporarily set up. Had to change my parking situation and got a little concerned, so had it, connected it up. Interior. No Bluetooth came with the van, so I got my own Bluetooth and some accessory chargers. Red and white wire was my old security camera setup. A little trail camera, hunter's trail camera. Yeah, custom dash camera mount. Not much else to show you up here. That's the monitor for my rear view and forward view. That system's powered by the solar, so it is always on. It has a motion sensor, so it will permanently record clips. For instance, if my car were to get hit while it was parked or something like that. Got some foil, keep the sun out in the summer. Looking inside here, you can see these black C-channel metal pieces. That's the basis for all of the conversion camper van living area structure. It's supported on 1-inch blocks to separate it out. That's mostly for thermal break. There'll be at least 1 inch of insulation behind these metal C-channels, and then 1.5 inches on top of that. I'll have it on the floor and the ceiling. I'll have very thick insulated curtains, likely for the doors. The van did not come with a back seat. I installed a 2-seat bench by myself, mostly so that I could bring my son in a child seat. This single seat was a recent addition. Unfortunately, I was mistaken about how to connect it to the floor, so I may or may not go with it. It has some wood temporarily while I'm mocking up how to secure that permanently. So, all right, moving towards the back, you can see that foil. That's foil on insulation on a large aluminum toolbox that I have all the electrical for the solar panel installed in. And it's just full of junk that I happen to be temporarily or permanently transporting, namely some boxes to be recycled or containing stuff to return from Amazon and Home Depot. Got some mover blankets, these nets, etc., just to hold my cargo up. You can see the solar panel wiring with excessive length on it because it's, I don't know where it's going to run permanently when I'm done. I have my snow cleaning device in the back. It's such a tall van, I had to buy a special extended handle. All right, let's unlock the doors and go to the back. You can see the inside of the hatch there too, by the way. Okay, this is the actual window heat pump air conditioner unit that goes in the hatch. The hatch does not support any weight by itself, so I have to build some interior structure. The air conditioner will actually hinge from arms coming down from the ceiling, from the framework, so I can put it out just inside, or if I want, I could swing it all the way up and secure it to the ceiling out of the way, so I have the full floor and midsection wide open. Let's climb in and close the door because it's raining. Oh, of course the lights go off. Good enough for video. The only 2 wires come in from the solar panels here through a factory hole in the roof. Also, the roof rack's installed with factory holes, so I didn't cut any holes in the roof that didn't come from Ford. It's 10 gauge wire. It's more than enough for all the solar panels I'll ever do. So depending on my arrangement, I may not need to do any other wires or glands through the roof. Lots of extra wire here. We'll trace that down. I'll show you the solar power system first. That goes under the floor. And then in here, and you can see 3 of 4 batteries on this end, some custom bracketry to hold them down, a bunch of wiring to bring it all together, and there is a 4th battery underneath that big yellow thing. So the solar panels come in through a wire, through a switch, through a breaker, into that big yellow thing. The big yellow thing is essentially a battery charger. So it regulates the panels. I can also plug this into a regular electrical outlet, and that will also charge the batteries and power the accessories. This box right here with the little green light on it, the gray box, DDR 48, etc., etc., that is a 48 volt to 12 volt converter, because these batteries are 48 volt nominal and a lot of accessories are 12 volt. So I have a whole 12 volt circuit here with distribution, and that runs normal things, including my mobile internet hotspot and the communication and accessories for the solar power system itself. That's a Raspberry Pi mini computer right there. That's running Venus OS that connects to Victron equipment, solar power equipment, so that I can monitor it remotely and control it remotely. This box here with the green light, that's a 12 volt UPS. That's designed to be a backup, battery backup for things like routers, modems, that kind of stuff. That is backing up the Raspberry Pi itself. So if the system goes down, I'll know. And hopefully I'll get some idea why, because the Venus OS will still be up and running. There is a wire that comes out of that and goes, oh, sorry, I'm in my own way, up the wall to a funny little plastic box, and that's just a convenient enclosure for my mobile hotspot. If I need to take that into a house or somewhere else with me, I can just unplug it and take that case, and that also has its wall wart, power supply inside it, so I can just walk away with that, plug it in somewhere, and use my internet separate from the van. There's a lot of wires and stuff to the various security camera, dash cam, things like that. The dash cam has a GPS. The Venus OS has a GPS, which is a very new addition. That's just kind of slung over a seat there. The internet works pretty good. It's Verizon based 100 gig plan. That's the only internet I pay for other than mobile on my cell phone, which I'll probably dial back because it's rare I'm not in range of my van. Okay, so moving on, again, the electronics, we got some 48 volt power besides the 12 volt, and that comes out, well, it would come out, it's not connected, it would come out and power the heat pump. And I have test run it on several occasions, but as you can see, I have no insulation in this van whatsoever, so not really great. Also, I don't have a convenient way to do it. I actually have to get a screwdriver and basically wire it in each time. So that was just for test runs, but it will go in this hatch. This hatch was custom sized for the heat pump unit. You can see I got some black paint on the edge at some point, and I put some tape to actually protect the unit while I was dry fitting and sizing it up and building the hatch, etc. So that works okay. It's the only company I know in existence making a window unit, 48 volt DC powered heat pump. They say it works down to -4 degrees. I'm sorry, 4 degrees Fahrenheit. So if I'm ever in a situation, my emergency heat is to just start the van engine and run that. Let's see, what else can I show you? Oh yes, moving back here, we're talking about all the accessories now. First we started with the heat pump. Now we're going to go back here. So not through that little tiny 12 volt UPS for small electronics, but through the higher output 12 volt. I have wired in the wires to, you can't really see the wires here, but they're there. It's coming out of this bundle. The wires to this freezer. And I have another unit like this. It's identical. You can set it to be a fridge or a freezer. It's a 50-liter unit. I also have a much smaller unit. It's my older one that I may or may not connect up as like an anti-freezer or something. By an anti-freezer, I mean I'm going to set it for to just keep things above freezing. So things like caulk, paint, medications, water filters, anything like that that just should not be allowed to freeze. But that doesn't necessarily need to be kept very warm either. Oh, and I'd have to run heater strips in that, so it would keep it within a narrow temperature range. And yes, I do have food in here. Yes, it is running. It just happens to be at 0 degrees right now. I have it set for its minimum, -4. It'll float anywhere. I've seen it as low as 12 degrees on the temperature sensor. I have a separate wireless temperature sensor that syncs up with the Venus OS. So I get everything. I got my refrigeration temperatures through there. Yes, it's running. It's cold. I have some leftovers, some frozen stuff, some ice cream, some Freezy Pops. They're old. They've been in there since like last summer. Yeah, freezer works very well. It's getting a little frosty. It was empty for a little while. I just kind of refilled it, so it has some extra frost and go through a defrost. This has a drain, so I can actually like kind of wash it, almost hose it down and drain it out if I need to. And this has been up and running, you know, for probably almost a year. I mean, I think I took it down a couple times intentionally to do some work on the system, but that's about it. I'm fascinated by these modular toolbox drawers, not just this brand, but all brands right now. These are very handy. I may basically design the entire interior of the van with modular toolbox drawers and related. These clip together. So there's actually 2 units here, a single drawer, a double drawer. They clip together, they stack up, they have handles, there's all kinds of accessories. They got wheelie carts, they got work tops, all kinds of things. So really cool. Maybe a little heavier than some dedicated cabinets, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. And I think I've pretty much covered everything. Yeah, it doesn't maybe look like a ton of work on the van itself, but there's been a ton of thought work involved. And I wish it weren't really raining and I could get up on the ladder. I could show you the roof rack. That was the first thing to do. That was quite a bit of work. I'm pretty proud of how that turned out. It's very minimal and very effective. I'll have to build on that for that 4th panel and anything else I do. So yeah, kind of a mess, kind of a work in progress. I don't currently have my hammock set up in here, which is where I sleep, but the last time I had it, I don't know if you can see that carabiner bolted to the wall, and then the hammock would hang diagonally from that one to this one, and I have a spreader pull on the hammock so it doesn't pull inward on these, it only pulls downward on them. That will not be permanent. That was temporary before I had all the unistrut and everything in. I'll build a much better place to hang that fits better with where the furniture will be. The original setup, before I even got those, is this heavy duty one. It's a hardware store purchase, and you can pretty much hang from that, and the other end would connect to, can I even see it? Oh yeah, so the black handle just above the door opener handle, and that gives you with a kind of a low hanging hammock diagonal from the door to middle of the back door approximately. That's okay, but it's quite in the way of stuff, and definitely can't do it with that single seat in. Sorry about these boxes. Like I said, it's some returns and empty boxes that I have to deal with. Oh, here's an accessory that I actually bought for house reasons, but I'll probably run it in the van eventually. It's a countertop water distiller. Burns quite a bit of energy, 750 watt, takes 3.5 hours to do a gallon, but there's something called dump loads, so with solar and with wind, actually got the name from wind. So when these batteries are completely full and the sun is shining and there's nowhere else for the solar power to go, but there's plenty available, well, you can run other stuff. You can set it up to know when the batteries are full and there's sun available and start running your auxiliary stuff, commonly referred to as dump loads. So I can basically distill water when I have excess power. Ooh, this telescoping ladder, that's super important. I always keep that in the van because it's so tall. If I ever need to do maintenance or inspection or to clean and squeegee the panels or anything like that, I got these little foam things zip tied to it to protect the top of the van. These modern vans have very thin sheet metal. You have to be very careful. I actually have a couple of dents from the inside out from when I had a hammock hanging in here before I had it secured very well to be immobile. You know, the metal hardware that it was hanging from, it swung and hit the door. Just tiny, no big deal. All right, I think that's about it. Oh, I'll give you some specs on the batteries if you didn't do the math based on what you can see here. These are rated as a 50 amp hour at 51.2 volt. Usually calculate at the nominal 48, gives you more realistic real world example. And these are low end batteries, so they claim 50, but it's actually more like 46 or 47 usable. So skipping all the math, I tell my battery sensor that I have about 186 amp hours currently, and I actually bought a secondhand very large battery that might completely replace these. So I might put all this electronics up in a panel on a recess in the wall where this back window void is, and then the new battery will go on the floor here where this whole toolbox is. It's a little bit flatter but a little bit wider, so I might, you know, build a bench or a cabinet on top of it or something like that. So, but it's basically 3 times the amount of battery that I have here in the new battery alone, and then I could sell these or repurpose them, I'm not sure. So the next step, believe it or not, is actually windows. I didn't mention that. There's various rules you need to qualify for a passenger van, for a passenger vehicle, which when I can get this legally converted to motorhome, I will also have the seating capacity increased. And one of the things you need, besides a DOT approved seat and all that good stuff, and it has to be installed properly, which it is windows. You need a side window, so I'm going to get one there, one on the sliding door, and rear windows. So that's taken up by the hatch, but I'm going to get the single rear window installed there. Trying to debate if I'm going to do it myself or hire somebody. So I love the DIY, but I think this is one of those things where I should just pay the extra few $100 and have it done in one day by a professional. All right, I think that's it. Oh, here's a close-up of my snow cleaning 3-piece device called Snow Broom, BRUM. Works great. Here's this other thing, is the handle that is matches with my 18-inch squeegee brush for cleaning the panels off in the summer if they get too dirty or something like that. All right, yeah, I think that's it. Well, Thanks for watching if you watched. Bye.